Hi everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope that you have been doing well. I want to make this very short and sweet for you guys so that you can make your own pillow rest or pillow arm rest, and you can also use this as like the cover. When I made mine, I just stuffed some thrifted clothes in it that I will be maybe sending to the thrift store in the future, but that was my choice. I could have used some fluff, but I would want to like add a liner just so that when I am washing it, the fluff isn't coming out of the pillows. So let's get started. The reason why I have paper and a pen here is because I'm going to show you visually how to do this. It's very simple, but it's just like a bit easier to explain when I show it like this. So I'm going to start by starting from the beginning, and then we'll get into all the details. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to get a 5mm crochet hook, and you want to have some acrylic yarn. You can use any yarn of your choice really for this project, but my choice is acrylic yarn. So this is how I started the front. So essentially we're chaining 64. So that means that there's going to be 8 squares at the bottom. So let's do that. Once I chain on 64, after every 8 stitches, I'm switching colors. So I did green, so I did 8 stitches green, and then I did 8 stitches white, 8 stitches green, 8 stitches white, and so on and so on. What I did for the height is 3 rows. So this is like 1 row, this is 2 row, and that's 3 rows. So I did 3. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is 2 levels. So my next kind of row or level here, checkered feel. So that's what I did. And in total at this point, you should have 16 squares. So now we need to create the opening because this was like the base. So now the opening, I am taking away 2 squares from each side, and I'm only working with this area here. So I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna go up. This area here is going to be 3 levels or 3 rows. So what that is again, guys, so you should only have 4 squares in the middle, and we're doing our checkered, okay? So this is what we have so far. So we have our 2 levels for our base, our 3 levels for the middle, and then we have to open it back up again. So what you would do is you would chain, you would grab your yarn and chain 16, because we took off 2 boxes, which is 16 in total, 16 stitches in total. So you have to chain on 16, or you have to chain 16 and then attach it back onto the pillow, and then continue doing your stitches. And then as well, you have to, once you get to this point, you have to then chain out another 16. You're gonna realize that once you get to this part, and you have to head back, there's gonna be more rows like here than there will be for here or somewhere there. So like over here we'll have 2 rows, because remember we're doing 3 rows, right? So over here we'll have 2 rows, but everything else from like this point will be 3 rows. That's fine. You really can't tell. The thing about this project is it also was my prototype, so I don't have like the perfect dimensions on how to do this, but this definitely works. And honestly, I think it passes because you can't really tell how many things are off in the pillow. So once you get to this point, so you've chained 16, then you've attached it, then you've chained 16, you're going to build up another 4 rows. So yeah, basically once you cast it on that, you're here back to this row. I can't remember if it's either this side or this side, but one of these are only gonna have 2 rows instead of 3, or it could be this side. Regardless, just keep following the pattern. So then you work your way up, and up here will be another like 8 stitches and then 3 rows. So it'll be the exact same as down there, and this will also be the same, and this will also be the same. So the only difference is going to be this area, this row, because this row is where we're chaining, and this could be just a little discrepancy, but you honestly won't be able to tell. So I'll show you what that looks like for me right now, what this should look like for you as well. Now I'm going to show you how to do the back of this project. So let me show you how to do that. So for the back, very simple. We're basically going to be following, this layout. The only thing is that we have to include these squares, okay? All you really have to do is you have to make, essentially you're going to be making one big square, but you're going to be needing to chain 64. Okay, then you're going to be needing to do the same 8 rows, so 1, and eventually it should look like this. So your back should be, so the back should be a big checkered square with 9 rows or 9 levels, and that's basically all it is. And obviously by 8, so you're going to be sure that you're doing 8 squares by 9. Now for the armrest, which, let's get back to our other piece of paper here. The armrest is going to be where we're adding here. So this area is where we're adding our armrest. Remember, this is the top here, and this is the bottom, just so we don't get too confused. I don't think I've ever seen anyone draw a pattern out, but here we are. Okay. What we're gonna do is basically, you're going to chain from this point. So you're gonna take from here, or you're gonna take from here, any point here, and you're going to chain 5, okay? So make 5 chains, and you're also going to do this to the other side. We're gonna chain 5, okay? Let's move this so that we don't get too distracted. So the reason that we are chaining 5 is because we kind of want the pillow to extend out. We don't want the pillow to extend up, because that takes away from what the original design is. So by chaining 5 here and having 3, 6, 9 stitches here, you're 4 stitches low on one side. So this side is going to kind of perk out, while this side is too short. So it's obviously going to also perk out. But if you had it even, it would just stand up. So that's what I did, chain 5, and then I followed. So wherever you start, say you started here, or no, say you start here, then you chain 5, then you attach it to this side, then you're going to see how the square is here. So what you're going to do is you're going to follow this pattern. So you're going to follow the checkered. So it's white, so you need to do green. So you're going to do 8 stitches green, 8 stitches white, 8 stitches white, 8 stitches green, 8 stitches, like you know what I mean? You can do 8 stitches white, 8 stitches white, 8 stitches green, and then you're going to do 5 stitches whatever. So this is both green, so you're going to do 5 stitches white. Do the next row, because you have to do 3 rows of each color, right? But then after you do green, you go back to white, then you do green, then you do you know what I mean, green, then you do white, then you continue on, and then you do your 5 stitches of whatever colors there, and eventually it's gonna kind of make this shape, right? This circle shape. And once it kind of starts to extend out with that shape, like once you're all done that, you're gonna obviously need to close it, because it's gonna be an open tunnel or an open funnel. What am I talking about? I'm so tired. Anyways, it's gonna be open here. So how to close that circle, and you can follow my Knot Pillow tutorial if you want to see a better description of how I close this. But basically what you're going to do is, once you get to this point where you're about to close it, your first row should be regular. So follow the pattern, should just be regular. And then every row going inside, you need to do 2 stitches regular, and then you do 1 decrease. So that means you are skipping 1 stitch to close it off. So the next row, okay, will be 2 stitches 1 decrease. Can't write upside down, can't write backwards either. It's okay. So 2 stitches, 1 decrease, and then you go to the next row, 2 stitches, 1 decrease, 2 stitches, 1 decrease, 2 stitches, 1 decrease, and then you go to the next row, 2 stitches, 1 decrease, 2 stitches, 1 decrease, 2 stitches, 1 decrease, and then you'll find the circle is super small now, or it's about generally like this size, like that big, that size. And what you're gonna do is just do decreases at that point. And you know what I found really funny is that when I did this method, I'll show you, it kind of naturally made its own closing shape, so kind of look like a circus ball type of thing. So that's the design that will happen here. If you don't want that design and you want a more checkered design, then I would suggest you follow my knot pillow tutorial, because then you will have to make 2 separate pipes or 2 separate kind of pillow rest, armrests here, and then you will have to attach it to this area. But that was too much for me, because I know that doing checkered for this form takes a long time, so this actually was really quick. So for the armrest, okay, 5 levels or 5 rows. Okay, so what I mean by that is I had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it was like this. So 5 rows, right? Was that. And that's basically it. These won't be even. Like there's gonna be, like, as I said, we're chaining here 5, but all of these are 3. So they're not gonna be even squares, but it's gonna work somehow. At least it worked for me. And that's how I got that situated. But if you want like everything to be even and coordinated, follow my knot pillow tutorial. Attach the knot pillows once they get to a certain length onto this canvas, onto the body of this work, and that could also work for you. To close this knot pillow, I obviously turned it inside out. I closed it, like I did slip stitches all the way to close. And I attached all these 4 corners. I attached all this here. Now before you fully close it, you might want to stuff it at this point. I know my my backrest pillow, I left like this much open, and it's still open, because if I want to take the clothes out and wash my cover, then that was an option that I had. Just fully close it. And since this is a square shape, it's very easy to put the pieces together. It's not really that hard to weave them together. And yeah, that's basically it. Anything and you have any questions, please let me know. And yes, thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for taking interest in this project, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe. Bye-bye.